Hello, my name is Felipe Hevia. I'm from MIA, Mexico, and in this video is about how do you design a citizen-led assessment model in your country. What is the objective of this video is to share what decisions go into adapting the citizen-led model in your context. MIA introduced this citizen-led assessment model in Mexico in 2014. We studied this model, create tools from Mexico, generate a sampling framework, and work it with volunteers. And this video will discuss these issues and should help other people and organizations understand what goes into adapting the citizen-led assessment model for their own context. We are working in three key processes that are basic to planning and design how do you work with citizen-led assessment. The first of all is to ask and to decide what do we want to measure. No? Evaluation has a lot of functions, but evaluation has two main functions. One is improve and learning. No? The idea is evaluations helps to improve and help to learn about our weakness and strength, and evaluation has another function is related with external control. No, in the Mexican case and in the citizen-led assessment approach, we believe that improve and learning is the main functions that this kind of evaluations helps. The second decision is evaluate which domains needs to improve. No, in our case, we work with reading and math, numeracy, because we are confident that these two domains are fundamental learnings that we need to accelerate in the time in order to maintain successful trajectories in the education. No? The second big question is about why do we want to measure? No? What are the uses where we'll make of the information generate? No? For example, you can create a citizen-led assessment to know the intensity of the problem, or to contrasting government information, or to propose elements from improvement, or involving society, etc. In our case, in the Mexican case, we design a MIA approach, thinking to know to share the intensity of the problem and to involving society in the learning crisis. The very related with this question is who we want to inform. You can think in national governments, in educational authorities, in international organizations, in local authorities, or in school. In our experience, local authorities and national governments are key elements to understand and to share our results. First key process, the survey instruments. The survey instruments, we develop the reading, this is our reading instruments. You can choose 2 syllabs and then 2 words and then 2 statements and then a story and then a comprehensional question. And if you see, we choose some decisions, or we made some decisions very important for us. First of all, we create a team of teachers and educational psychologists in order to adapt and decide who kind of domains and who kinds of components could be done in this instrument. No, we start, for example, in syllabs, not in letters. Why? Because in Spanish, it's critical the importance of syllabs to learning Spanish. No, it's not the same in other languages, and this is the kind of decisions that you could make. The second is we add an inferential comprehension questions. No, our idea was not just assessment fluency, but also assessment inferential comprehensions. If the children not just read or decodifying the words, even then if the children can understand the things that they read. The third decision was start from the beginning. No, another citizen-led assessment start in the statement and then move forward or move back according with the domain of the children. We starting in syllabs, and then we go to the words, and then we go to the statement, and then we go to the story. And this is because starting with the statements can be tricky for training. This is we need more time and skills to start in statements, and children feel more confident when answering easiest items. No? In numeracy instruments, we add solving a problem using at least 2 arithmetic operations, not just solving an algorithm, but applying math to real-world situation. This is why the idea for add this solving problem. And finally, we all these survey instruments have undergone reliability and validity process. We publish a technical test of the instrument in order to assure the quality of these measuring instruments. The second important key element is sampling. No? And what is the right sample? Depending of the use of the information, the sample may be or may have with national representation, with regional representation, with administrative representativeness, for example, one school region, or with the school representativeness. In our case, in Mexico case, we choose regional representation because we cannot the capacity to design and to develop a national representation, but we really has the capacity to improve regional representation and move from state to state. The second point important in this kind of decision is the scale of representativeness. No, the scale of representativeness required is determined by the use. The use is critical to understand why this sampling is not in schools or is not in a national survey. Is this kind of decisions we can make thinking in the use. And the third important point is the more specific the scale, the larger the sample is needed. No, you need to, in terms of logistics, to ask what are the trade-off of choose a huge sample or a small sample. In the case of Mexico, for example, Mexico has 32 states and more than 2,500 counties or municipalities. We decide to select 6 states in the southern part of the country because this part are there have the most inequalities and the most disadvantage in terms of socioeconomic status. And in every state we decide work with electoral district. No, for example, this is the map of Veracruz. In Veracruz, we have 20 districts, and each district each district has electoral sections. No? And we sampling the electoral sections of every electoral district in the state select. No. Why electoral district? Because the statics and maps are updated annually. Is very good statics and maps available for everybody, and because the electoral districts are the equal or trends to be equal quantity of people. For example, if you thinking in municipalities, there are huge municipalities, but there are municipalities with very low population. In the case of electoral district, in the Mexican case, we choose one unit that we compare between them. No, in your context, you need to understand and to to choose which state or which unit of sampling do you need. The third key is recruit and training volunteers. And in general, the recruitment of surveyors they need to share general characteristics. For example, one of them is the interest in education, is the respectful and positive attitude, and they need a minimal data collection skills. And then you can choose between volunteer or paid surveyors. For example, if you work with volunteer, and in the Mexican case, we choose to work with volunteer, not just but the budget, mainly because the volunteers know the neighbors and the people in the districts and in the sections, and willing to donate part of their time and knowledge to education. And if you remember, in the Mexican case, we try to involve society to understand the intensity of the learning crisis. And because that, we choose to work with volunteer surveyors. But if you have resources and budget, and for example, lack of time, maybe paid surveyor could be a good idea. In the Mexican case, each district will need 30 volunteers. We are looking for key partners in each district. For example, in Veracruz, we have 20 districts. We're looking for key partners in each of every 20 districts. For example, we choose or we try to tie with college and universities, teaching training centers, civil society organizations, and so on. The idea from MIA was to create a squad of training who move from district to district in order to training the volunteers. And this decision was a logistic decision. No, we choose this way because for us was cheaper and quicker to move the one squad of training and not to use the cascade process. In the surveyor training, there are three critical or key processes. One of them are decisions. One of them is you need to choose what is the type of training. You can choose face-to-face or hybrid, some part, online parts, and you can choose training to master training and then the training to training in select district, or you can choose, for example, was our choose to create a squad of training. No, the second decision is understand the training content. No, what is the content of these trainings is related with communication with local authorities, household selections, application of learning tools, application of context questionnaires, and fill out the forms. And finally, it's necessary to understand and to include training quality assurance processes. That include content evaluation and training satisfaction surveys. In the Mexican case, we developed the stage of training writing. We're training a team of master training who travel to the district to ensure the quality of the training and evaluate satisfaction and knowledge of the training. That's all. This is finished. In this part, finish our video. I hope this video could be help in order to understand which decisions are made, and if you know our decisions in the MIA case, you can be useful to you. Thank you very much and have a good day.